So you decided to move to Central Florida and Tampa area, but you're not really sure about, should I live in Central Florida, Orlando, Greater Orlando area, or should I live in Tampa? Well, in this video, I talk about the pros and cons of moving to and living in Tampa. Let's have a look, let's go. Hello and welcome to another episode of Orlando and Tampa Living with Dee, where I bring you community videos all throughout Central Florida and Tampa areas. And guys, today I am in Tampa. I'm talking about the pro and con of moving to and living in Tampa. And I know a lot of our clients have reached out and said they want to know the difference between the two cities because they are the major cities. By the way, if you haven't subscribed to our channel, what are you waiting for? This is a great resource, so press that thumbs up button, show us some love. And if you are looking for a brand new home anywhere in Central Florida and Tampa, make sure to check out Orlando Home Show. And one of the benefits of living, or one of the pros of living in Tampa, is that it's a very diverse community. You have a lot more bilingual job opportunities in Tampa when you compare that to Central Florida, Orlando. But on top of that, it's relatively a lot more cheaper when you compare to other coastal areas in Florida as such. Like if you compare that to West Palm Beach, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, or Destin, Florida, it's a lot more cheaper in Tampa as compared to other areas. And guess what? You have a lot of chickens right over here. I'm just shooting this in the Sentinel Park right here in downtown. And I just didn't realize that the chicken roam here freely. There's a bunch of them, but just kidding. Let's talk about the next pro of moving to and living in Tampa. So one of the other pro of moving to and living in Tampa is that there's a lot of recreational parks all throughout Tampa and suburban Tampa areas. And if you're like me and you want to do things outside, you want to go and play lawn tennis, you just want to do barbecue, walk by the riverfront park, the one that I'm shooting in today, it is just absolutely amazing. And not to mention the blue sky, great weather that Central Florida and Tampa has to offer. Now guys, when I talk about the pro and cons, please keep in mind, a pro to me could be a con to you, and a con to you could be a pro to me. So it really depends upon your situation, your family situation. There is no right or wrong. Having said that, let's talk about the next pro of moving to and living in Tampa. So one of the other pro of moving to and living in Tampa is that Tampa is a unique place. It's a melting pot of a lot of different cultures. And if you're like me who wants to try different kind of foods, you want to look at some of the upscale restaurants, Tampa actually offers you that. And on top of that, you're not very far from Busch Garden, which is just down the road about 45 minutes. And if you want to go to Disney and all those parks, they're just well within an hour and a half, depending upon the traffic. So it gives you all of that right over here. And not to mention, Tampa by itself is just a very, very unique. It used to be cheaper than Central Florida, Orlando. However, because of the growth that the city has seen, it's kind of gone up, but it's still comparatively a lot cheaper when you compare to other coastal areas. And guess what? You could be in the beach for less than an hour, but that's the same for Central Florida. Hope this makes sense. Now that the pro is done, let's talk about the cons of moving to and living in Tampa. So one of the biggest cons of moving to and living in Tampa is the weather. Yep, I said that, weather. It's a beautiful sunny day to shoot today, but during hurricane season, this beautiful sunny blue sky can completely turn into, thunderstorm, rain, a lot of water, and you're just evacuating to more inside. Now, I personally live in Central Florida, Orlando area, and I've been here since 2001. And one of the reasons for that is that, when it's the hurricane season, it really depends upon the year you're having, because when the hurricane comes, sometimes they all come in a year and then they don't come for a few years and then they all come again, and you're kind of evacuating because you're so close to the coastal area that there is a very good chance of flooding. So it really you want to move towards the inland and more towards Central Florida, Orlando area, but that's just a matter of personal choice. It really depends upon you. That's not to say that this is the weather all the time. It's just the hurricane season. You got to be more careful. Your cost for holding a property and getting some extra insurance could be a little bit higher, but these are the things that you've got to keep in mind when you make that decision. And like I mentioned, there's no right, no wrong. Let's talk about the next con of moving to and living in Tampa. So one of the other cons of moving to and living in Tampa is the traffic. Now, traffic is horrendous in any of the major metropolitan city, whether that be Central Florida, Orlando, whether that be Tampa, St. Petersburg, any place that you talk about. But one of the major reasons for the traffic being so bad is that there's not a major public transportation system. So if it's husband and wife, and you both are working and you got to both have to have a car, and traffic during the peak hours in the morning and in the afternoon could be a little bit challenged. So that is something to keep in mind. And if you want to kind of travel during those hours, you've got to make sure that you have enough time, because the chances are you're going to be pretty much stuck in traffic for a little while. It's bumper to bumper traffic, but that is something to keep in mind. Now let's talk about the last con of moving to and living in Tampa. So one of the last cons of moving to and living in Tampa is related to the home ownership. Now, if you are looking to build a brand new home, and talking about brand new home, make sure to check out Orlando Home Show. That's where I bring you brand new models throughout Central Florida and Tampa areas. You're going to be dealing with HOA, and HOA is just the ugly truth. Some people like it because of all the amenities that it gives, and also because your neighbor cannot start a pig farm if they decide to. So it kind of gives some formality to it. You can do everything that you want, but HOA sometimes, especially in condos and townhomes, could be a nightmare to deal with. But that's just the reality of it, because most of the communities, especially the brand new, will have some sort of an HOA. It could be just about $100 a month to $200, $300, $400 a month. Really depends upon the society, the community that you are wanting to live in. And when it comes to old homes, they're either like really, really old. So you would have to spend a substantial amount of money to kind of rehab them and do everything. And that is something to keep in mind. Now, guys, I say this over and over again, and I want to tell this one more time. It really depends upon you and your family situation. What works for you may not work for me, and vice versa. So that is something to keep in mind, because any city that you go to, they're going to have pros and cons. What you really got to look at is, does the pro outweighs the cons, or vice versa, so you can make a decision that's good for you and your family. We have helped a lot of people move into Central Florida and Tampa area. We specialize in all those areas, and when you give us a call, our services to you is absolutely free. I'm a licensed real estate agent, and we are here to help and serve. I hope you get a lot of value from our videos. If you do, press that thumbs up button. And now we are also doing TikTok, Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts. We're doing all of that work. So please like and subscribe to our channel. It takes a lot of work and effort to bring you these videos, to give you information. And please don't forget to reach us out if you have a need and if you are looking to move to any of the Central Florida and Tampa area. Until the next community, thank you for watching. Bye for now.